Foodie beauty, her name on YouTube she reigned, with laughter and feasts, her mouth unrestrained. She met him online, a Syrian soul, in Kuwait's golden sands. Their love took its toll. Oh, food beauty, foolish and old, do your worst, she cried, her story unfold. Now in Syria's dust, where shadows abide, an outlawed queen with nowhere to hide. No water, no light, just hunger, harsh sting. Her emptiness burns, she will do anything. Her stomach is empty, her soul even worse. Her need for a man's love is her very worst curse. In Kuwait, she taunted, do your worst. Defiant and proud, she retreated and cursed. But the law struck hard, now a life of crime. They fled to the warlands, no rhythm, no rhyme. Now in the ruins of Syria, hope fades. No Wi-Fi, no air, no bright yesterday. The table is bare, the faucet dry as stone. Her love by her side, an empty, cruel home. Oh, foodie beauty, foolish and bold, do your worst, she cried, her story untold. Now in Syria's dust, where shadows abide, and now a queen with nowhere to hide. No water, no light, just hunger, harsh sting. Her heart is humming a mournful lost string. In the silence, her memories quietly weep. Yet somewhere inside, emptiness so deep. For love, for a home, her delusions made her fall for a creep. In the desert's lament, her tail softly sways, a Middle Eastern dirge for her fugitive days. Food beauty, the star, now a whisper, a sigh. In Syria's embrace, neath a war-torn sky. This is the end, she will never survive. Chantal's life will end beneath the dark.
All right, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Foodie beauty, her name
Hold
on
on.
YouTube she reigned.
I
With
thought I had this
laughter
turned
and
off,
feasts,
but
her
I
mouth
don't.
unrestrained.
All right, if you
She
guys
met
can hear
him.
me, put a 1, please. So we wake up to the prediction that I've been making for the past 2 weeks, perhaps. Thank you, June and Julie. Thank you so much. Hey, St. Elmo's, Texas Lassie. Good morning to you. Hi, Saban Nation. Good to see you. Yeah. So So Foodie Beauty is really in dire straits. Now, I wouldn't be surprised at all if she were to go live and go, "What? Nothing's happening. What do you mean? It's beautiful here. We've just been in the backyard sunning ourselves in the beautiful Syrian sun." Well, what you're actually looking at right here is right where close to where they live. And when I say close to where she lives, let me give you a bit of a perspective here. I want you to imagine a town that you regularly travel to, like between where you live and a place that's an hour, perhaps, and yeah, probably an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes away from where you live. A place that you travel to fairly often, right? Well, that is the issue with Foodie Beauty. Within an hour of where she lives, you are hearing these bombs and these explosions because the ceasefire was broken by Al Qaeda, Jalani, the president of Syria. The ceasefire was broken against the Druze people, and Israel has now taken a special interest in this area. They have had a long-standing interest there, don't get me wrong, but Jelani was talking a lot since March. He has been speaking a lot about being one nation of Syrians and not be divided among religious belief, right? Which is one of the ways that he was able to be seen as legitimate by Western modern governments, including Donald Trump, which I'm so disappointed in this. I get why Trump did this. I understand that he's a businessman and he looks at a place like Syria as nothing but opportunity for entrepreneurs and businesses, right? So I get that point in dropping the sanctions, recognizing Jelani as a legitimate president and such. But make no mistake about it, this is no different than if Osama bin Laden had been named president of Afghanistan or Iran or Iraq. We, Jelani, Baghdadi, Osama bin Laden, Abu Bakr, they're all the same animal. They are all of the same belief system. They've all been trained and taught by the same clerics. They care only about the Levant. They care only about this whole worldwide caliphate. They care only about world domination through Islam. They are jihadis, 100%. So the president of Syria is absolutely a jihadist. The people that have been put in power, the government that's been put in power in Syria, they are the Al Qaeda that we were at war with, that the entire world was at war with. You hear these bombs? I'm going to quit talking so you can hear this. And you see all those little white things moving around? Those are people. I suspect those are people that would very much like to go and help kill the Druze and the Israelis that are helping the Druze. So right now Israel has been bombing the crap out of them the past 24 hours. Not 24, like the last 12 hours. And the hope, okay, how do I say this? The goal the goal, uh, what has been decided in Israel in the past 12 hours with this bombing campaign that's happening. The goal is to establish and enforce a demilitarized zone. Because remember what I said yesterday, the Golan Heights, and you can pull that up on your Google and see the map, and you'll understand this area that all this is happening in. The Israel has taken. They are under the belief that they own about 425 square meters, kilometers of this area in Golan Heights, and they have hundreds of Israeli settlers that live there. They are working the land, they have built homes, they have Israeli villages. And for the most part, the Druze, the Israelis, a lot of Coptic Christian, this has been an area that they have, historically been able to live in peacefully. And again, this goes back to the positives of Assad. There were a lot of negatives with Assad, just like with Hosni Mubarak. The positives with Mubarak and Assad and the leaders like them is that they really modeled their government after the American system, or even to some extent, probably more like the British system. And they didn't allow religion to be a factor in lawmaking and law enforcement. Religion was considered something to be practiced on a personal level, and it had no place in government workings, just like here in the United States. And of course, the jihadists hate that. The jihadists want Sharia law. And you say to yourself, well, why are they so interested in Sharia law? Why wouldn't they just be happy having everybody have some freedom? Well, if you're a man, I want you to think about this. If you're a man under Sharia law, don't they make you a king? You're turned into a king. You can do whatever you want to do. You can have 4 women. You can have 4 wives. If let's say you're a man who's born into a family with 7 sisters, and one of those sisters marries a millionaire, and the millionaire dies. Well, do you think this wife, your sister, do you think she inherits that millionaire's millions? No, hell no, she doesn't. You know where it goes? It ends up going to her brother. If there are no male children, if there are male children, then it'll go down to the male child. But if this woman has no male children, there's no brothers to the millionaire husband, then those millions actually roll over to her brother. And you just wouldn't believe the number of homeless women that are on the streets in these types of countries, where the men in the family inherited what should have rightfully been hers, and then never looks back at her, and she's left destitute, becoming a beggar on the street. I am not saying these things to you as hyperbole. I am telling you the reality of why I am so passionate about helping these Middle Eastern women. It's a nightmare. It is a woman's literal nightmare. So Foodie Beauty has now stepped into a world that she knows nothing about, and she has shown apparently no interest whatsoever. There we go. No, why won't it stay? Okay. She has shown no interest whatsoever in learning about this land that she's in. She has zero understanding of her current plight. If for some reason the military were to pick up, if Salah is just walking down the road and they pick him up and they say, you're going to war with Syria, you have to become one of our fighters, we're running out of soldiers, we need you to fight with us. He doesn't get a choice. He doesn't even get to tell her, hey, I'm gone, I don't know what you're going to do. They'll pick him up, and that will be that, and she will be stuck. And unless they have befriended someone that has a decent and good soul, she is in severe danger of another man just taking her and saying, no, no, this is my wife. Not to love her and be kind to her, but as like a house worker or something like that. She has no idea of the world that she's walked in. She doesn't understand the jihadis at all. None. So you can hear the gun, the F-16 fighter jets flying overhead occasionally. You can hear the bombs. Damascus skyline. If you look at the Damascus live skyline, this all of this is happening about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of Damascus. But even the Damascus skyline is almost obliterated by heavy smoke from the bombing. When I say they're bombing, it's not strategic ordnance bombing. It's not killing a warehouse. They are mass bombing this frontline area. They want a demilitarized zone. They came up with a ceasefire with Jolani. You hear that? Oh my God, it's so scary that she's there. My God. You know what, Salah, you idiot, you big dumbass. Drive her to Damascus and put her on an airplane before there is literal disaster. Oh my God. Okay. So they had a ceasefire 24 hours ago. And then 12 hours ago, that ceasefire was broken by the terrorist bastards, Jelani, Syria. And now apparently Israel has said, you know what? FAFO. Here comes the find out part. So we're looking at essentially a new Gaza Strip being born. This is going to be a disaster. This is going to be incredible, y'all. This is going to end up being incredible. I've got something else I want to play here. Just a second. See, I knew it did it again. It disconnected you guys. Oh, I can't imagine, Sabin. I just cannot imagine. No, we haven't seen her in several days. Let me see if this disconnects again. Okay, hold on. All right, so you you should be seeing. Are you seeing the front line where the bombing? That like you see a bunch of people to the side, a big fence. That being the border, right? Do y'all see it at all? It's like I share it and then it disconnects. She did go live this morning. I didn't look to see if she was live. I was just horrified when I saw that they're killing and bombing. I was just couldn't believe it. Yes, Foodie Beauty, that is gunshot, my dear. That would be a machine gun, Foodie, in your backyard. Literally within a 1 hour drive. We don't know exactly where she is, but she is somewhere in this 1 hour drive. This could be 5 minutes. Talked about the bombing. Damn, you idiot. Salah, you big ass, you big dumbass. If you love this woman, put her ass on an airplane, you idiot. I have no patience for stupid people. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that she's done this to her life. And her poor mother, my God. Shmi, do not send her cash under any circumstances. You buy her a plane ticket and have it at the Damascus airport. That's how you do this. Oh my God. And then Foodie Beauty, get your ass to the fucking airport and get on an airplane and act like a normal human being that's got a brain in their head. Oh, I'm so angry about this. It's such a waste. There are millions of women over there that can't get out. They cannot escape. And then you've got this silly Western woman walking around completely delusional, using drugs, even bombed out of her mind. It's incredible. It's truly incredible. Really, totally incredible. Yeah, you look like you're high as hell this morning. God, she's such a foolish woman. Man. Okay, I'm going to switch. Looks like they're all women in that crowd. Hold on. No, there's no women. That's all men. Yeah, that's all men. There's no women in the crowd. They're wearing prayer caps. They're all praying. See, those are men. They're praying. I see a woman. Here's a woman right here. There's one right there. These are all men. This may be a woman here. No, that's a man right there. Yeah, this is a prayer group. See how they're all wearing the dark gray Galileo with the prayer hats? There's a guy with a machine gun. Even though you can see what looks like a hijab, this is actually a man. He's just in his robe. No, it's all men. You see these guys walking back over here with the white hats on? You can see what I'm talking about by prayer caps. It's just men. All right. Okay, so I'm going to switch over here. All right. And okay, so that is Foodie Beauty this morning. They raised the Israeli flag earlier. This is going to get very bad. No, Rochelle, that is not me. That's the live streamer that you can hear some of the air. Some of that is bombing, some of that is wind. All right. So yeah, the strategically Israel has decided to make a DFC, a demilitarized zone. So that's what they're bombing, and they're trying to clear that area out, and then they'll send in their ground forces. This is going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what this fool, let's see what the hell she's got to say today. She looks like she is either high or she looks like she's in liver failure. Look at her.
Better put that filter on. Ugh.
How about you go home? How about you get your ass on an airplane and go home and get out of those people's way and let some poor family have an underground apartment while you go home to your mother's house and get your shit together. This is not acceptable on any level, Foodie Beauty. You look ridiculous. And Salah is even worse for not protecting you.
Whatever it is.
Let's see how delusional she is this morning. God, you look rough. Whatever medicine you're taking, stop.
Juice. Hi, baby. Hey, Naughty Box, Brooke, Moni, Laura, Z, VST, Emmy.
Stupid roll call that takes 15 minutes.
I look hunchback because I
Because
kind
you're
of am,
fat.
but which
You hear the
thanks,
gun
Chrissy, Megan. Oh, somebody gave me this. To wear. It's like a dress, short sleeve, but. Hey, Barbara, KJ, Cyprus, nice. Cyprus is right beside Greece, isn't it? Geographically, in Queensland.
Cyprus is an island.
And you're
Cutie.
cracked in. Oh,
She looks terrible.
blue is definitely your color. Thank you. I look like an egg right now.
She is so high, Kelly.
I look a little eggy
right
in the morning.
now. She's already using.
I haven't done anything but put lip gloss. Hey, Sturdy. Oh, thank you, Megan. Taylor. So I finally uploaded my video about my health updates. By the time I upload it, my health is gonna be completely different. No, I'm just joking. No, it uploads in about 2 to 3 hours.
Swirling dervish.
Hey, Bridget.
They are
Sandra.
not
Thank you, Healthy.
bombing the capital. No.
The problem is, it's like
they're bombing down by the Golan Heights.
Saber, I had a dream about you the
Syria.
other night. I kept having to follow you around and keep you safe from random dangerous things. It's probably because I fell asleep watching your live. Yeah, well. Yeah. It's
You
not far off,
dumbass.
Saber.
You dumbass. What are you smiling
In
about?
Lebanon. Oh, so it's not that far from me. Hey, Nimi. No, is it a moo-moo? I don't know what makes something a moo-moo. It could be. No, I didn't see a doctor. Yeah, Jenny. Hey, Robin.
Still, we're 5 minutes in. She's still doing her.
No, I didn't cure my diabetes. I'm so excited for fall.
The bombs are falling, cutie. Let's talk about that.
I don't know how what are you doing here? She's full of spunk and vinegar right now.
Wow,
They
he has
said-
got her totally drugged up.
I get what you have to do. You have to tease the hair around the neck to
You're
make it look
stupid.
lion-y.
You're
So now it
stupid.
looks okay. Oh, no.
She hates you. She hates your guts. She's smarter than you are,
What's wrong
Chantal.
with you?
The
She's
cat
hyper.
is smarter
Her legs look
than
like
you.
sticks. Hey, Miss Chad, it's your birthday. Okay. Happy birthday to you.
No,
Happy birthday
you
to you.
can't.
Happy birthday,
Can't.
Miss
This is so
Chad.
unbelievably
They gave her
stupid.
a treat, but she doesn't like them.
She
Anyway,
doesn't like you.
she would just stand there like this.
Yeah.
But now you're back to normal.
You're
Alhamdulillah. Well, we told the vet, just take the and hi Jack. Hey Megan and Jack.
blaming the
Like
vet.
it's very popular here to do that in the summer with cats. So,
Wow, look at her eyes.
because
y'all.
back in
She's so
Kuwait, she
high.
didn't have mats. Like it was very rare. She might have a. I don't know. I think like a little bit used to it, but I sweat every day a lot, especially in the bedroom. Like I don't know why I don't just like pull the mattress out here where the. So if I want to brave a supermarket, it's probably going to be really hot. I jumped on a resort in
you wanna
Egypt.
know
Salah had to
something,
leave last
Chantal?
second, so you were sticking.
You can't go to a supermarket today where you are. And the reason that you can't go to the supermarket is because Israel has declared war on you. Like literally, Dara, that area, Israel's declared war on you. Do you understand that?
With my husband and I, but you took a nap. I need to go to the airport and I couldn't wake you. It's not usually that bad. Yeah, they do need daily brushing. Things like that. Like we don't even keep our fridge on. Hey Jack. Wait. What's with YouTube and these purple crowns? It's the top fans. The government allows power from 8 to 9 a.m.
She's a dumbass.
The washer's finicky. Anyway, so we have solar. So during the day when the rays, how do they keep stuff cold? They don't. Hippie blue. Kate, yeah. We have to plug it in. Like maybe I think I'm about to plug it in now. So I guess we could put like beverages in there. Maybe like Israel. I blinked and you were in Cyprus. No, I'm not. I'm in Syria. Kate.
She's so stupid.
No, I don't think so. Is it? I don't know. I mean Syria. No, don't have any food, just chips. What I eat in a day?
You
Yeah,
want
I
to hear
could do
what's
that. I just eat
amazing
once
to
a day.
me? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but maybe go to her channel and play the video like for yourself so that you've got better sound than the streamed version. You can literally hear like the gunshots and the bombing in the background, like while she's talking. You can literally hear it even over the fan. And she is not even like there's no recognition of it. Like she's not responding like she can hear it. I can hear it, but it's like she can't even hear it. Now, is that because, Salah gave her brain pills? Does she have express direction not to talk about it? Like, what's the plan here, you big dumbass, Salah? What's your plan? What? You're just gonna sit there and be sitting ducks? Is that how you're gonna do this? Because Salah, you are Sunni Muslim. Your family is from Dara. It's all over the internet. And if Israel decides to stake claim on that part of Syria, and they damn well could if they wanted to, there's nothing Jelani could do about it. They don't have F-16 fighters like Israel does. You guys will be gone. You guys will be nothing because you are the enemy to Israel. I've not ever. This is just incredible to watch. Really.
Yesterday, oh my gosh, there's this place here. Well, most of the places here make really good the shawarma. I'm telling you, you have to come to Syria to eat the best shawarma. All them like sectarian issues. So like there's a group of people called the Druze, and um,
Now remember, you're going to get the jihadi version of the fighting. Okay, so that's what Salah's going to be telling her is the jihadi version.
there's groups of people in Syria who are against these Druze people. Israel wants to protect these Druze people. I don't know. There's all kinds of. There's still conflict. I don't know. So yeah, it was the bombing was maybe an hour from us, something like
She
that, an hour and
doesn't
a
want
half.
to admit. She doesn't want to admit where they're at. She doesn't want anybody to be able to pinpoint. Where
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Right as of now, I could leave if I wanted to. Same with Salah. Super scary. I know,
the same with
and very
Salah.
frustrating. Like,
Where the hell Salah going to go? Like, where is he going to go? She has no idea what she's
just
doing.
leave Syria alone. Like, get the heck out. Stop bombing. They also bombed a friggin' refugee shelter again in Gaza.
You want to
Like,
know why? You
that dude's
want to know why that happens? I'll explain to you, okay, from someone who knows, okay? The reason that they do that is because your husband, his little friends, your kind of people, because they get their money, their funding, they get their ammunition, they get their guns, and they store them in hospitals. They store them in orphanages because that's the way that they manipulate the West. Oh, look at how evil Israel is. They bombed our hospitals. Oh my God. Oh my God. They're so evil. No, your evil asses put the weapons, hid the terrorists in the hospitals and the schools. Let me tell you what Israel does. Israel calls ahead. Okay? They'll call ahead and they'll say, we will be bombing this building at this time. And then they'll give them, there's usually like probably, well, I want to say an hour's notice, but there's also times where it's been as much as 2 hours, okay, depending on the circumstances. So they give them about an hour's notice. Do you know why Israel does that? I mean, who in their right mind during war would tell somebody where they were going to bomb? I'll tell you why. Because they're trying to be loving and kind while destroying the rockets and the guns and the ordnance that would kill Israelis, or in this case, Druze. So they're calling ahead to say, we will be bombing this area. Please get everyone out, get all the people out, move away from the building. The jihadis have used your building for storage, and we need to blow up this ordnance that is there. So get the people and get away. And then what ends up happening is the jihadis will find little street kids or women that are living, on the streets, and they will literally tie them to the building. I actually saw one time where these little like 5-year-old, 4-year-old kids, where they were hung on the metal grating that was over the window. And then they go and they get back away from where the bomb fallout is going to be, and they wait for the bombing. And when in their video recording, that's how we know that they're actually putting kids and women on the building so that they can film, they can get video of these poor dead children and women. And then they can say, look what Israel did. Look, they killed our people. Look how horrible they are. In reality, the jihadists jihaded, they martyred these little kids. They don't feel guilty about it. They're not concerned that they did it. They martyr them. They think, hey, little boy, we're doing, or mostly little girls, hey, we're going to do a very beautiful thing for you. You'll soon be, in heaven. You'll soon be living without hunger, without fear, without pain. You're going to be living in, your finest, houses and all the food you can eat. We just need you to hang on this building until the bombs come and take you home. This religion, okay, well, not this religion as a whole. The Islamists, the far, far, far right extreme of Muslim, most Muslims are horrified by these actions. Horrified. The entire country of Egypt kicked Mohammed Morsi out of office and said, we do not want the Muslim Brotherhood in charge. No, you got to go. We're not putting up with this nonsense. That was Muslims. This is like, if you look at the United States as mostly Christian, the Islamists would be akin to skinheads, like far, far, far extreme religious right, like weird Nazi-esque type ideas. Okay. So when I talk about the jihadis, when I talk about the Islamist, make no mistake about it, I refer not one bit to Muslims. No way. No, I spent 10 years with Muslim people. They were my friends. We worked together, we played, traveled together. They're beautiful, amazing, wonderful, happy, loving people. Please don't get me wrong. But this nonsense, what you are seeing here, putting Foodie Beauty living in this condition that she's in Dara of all places, Jesus, I hate being right.
Going right to hell. Like that's like, there's no repercussions for his war crimes.
Oh, are you talking about Jelani's war crimes? You dumbass, you big dumbass.
Druze and Christians, and they said they wanted to help, but once you're independent, they were ambushed. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're
I
stupid.
don't know what happened, but Syrian beeswad. Oh, okay, Laura, maybe then. I don't know really how it works.
But you're sitting in the middle of World War III, you idiot.
I eat shawarma every day. It's on rotation.
Just keep taking your brain pills, cutie. That'll work out great for you.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of, I don't know. Hey, Deborah.
Yes, Kelly. She looks ill.
Yeah. Cowpat. Well, the new government doesn't approve of that, apparently, in a statement he made, the new interim president. So there's still a lot of intercivil, and I agree with you. Nobody should be killed for religious persecution. I'm dead against that. So I agree with you there. Yes,
You know what you just did?
There's still a lot of that.
You just did, cutie. You just made yourself a target of the neighbors that live above you and beneath you. You just made yourself a target of every single person that you're going to find in the grocery store where you are, the market, the souk. You don't think anyone should face religious persecution? Don't you understand that you are a jihadist? Has it not sunk into your head that you married a man who is being allowed to work on his family home in Dara? No one has tried to run him off. No one has put a gun to his head, cutie. Why is that? Why is that, do you think? You are in the land of Al-Qaeda. That is their land. They are celebrated in Syria. The president is Al-Qaeda. HTS is Al-Qaeda. A rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. All they did is take Al-Qaeda, rename it to HTS so that Jolani could be seen as legitimate by the world leaders. That's all they did. This is a game, people. This is a game in semantics. And she has just said she just didn't think that the Druze and the Christians should. And the Israelis should not be persecuted.
Rest in here, but it's not going to be perfect right away, right? So there's a lot of tension, and there's a lot of conflict still. So that's the one thing. But I knew that coming here. I knew it wasn't going to be a friggin' holiday inn, like.
You knew that?
But
Did you really?
there's a lot of beauty in Syria, and it gets overshadowed by these
Bombs?
things, these conflicts, and
It gets
more
overshadowed.
active on YouTube, really?
Cutie, it gets overshadowed by bombs? I mean, yeah, sure, I get it. Because when you bomb something, there is then dust in the air, debris, and that dust and debris floats around and finally settles down and overshadows the beauty. Isn't that right? You might ask yourself, Cutie, why is everything so dirty in a land that gets pretty regular rain except in the summer months? Why is that? You in no way are equipped to deal with what you're in right now. You have no idea what you're doing. And the first bad person you run across, you are going to lose your life. You have zero idea what you're doing. Physically, you couldn't even hide. Physically, you don't have the muscle structure, the agility to even get into these. Military is taught to hide in very obscure and unusual places. There is simply no way that she would know what those places are, much less how to get into them. So how's she going to protect herself if they come? What is she going to do? This is the most absurd. You want to know what's going to happen to this woman? This woman is going to end up in one of the ISIS bride camps. That's where she's going to end up. And there's nothing there, cutie. You'll literally be sleeping in a tent with a dirt floor. The same rag that you wear on your head, it will be like the blanket that you will cover up with at night. There will be nothing there. And your government will not take you back. And the governments like Lebanon, Jordan, they will not accept you. You will be literally a woman without a country. At the very least, cutie, at the very least, you should be making your way into Damascus. Find you a little hotel room to live in. You could live in a little hotel room for almost nothing in Damascus. This is insanity. What you're doing here, at least if you are in Damascus, you're far less likely to get bombed. Far less likely. Your handsomest husband, cutie, took you to the front lines of a war that's been going on for 3,000 years. Do you understand that at all? Real loving guy, cutie. Real good guy you got there.
Yeah, I could leave.
No, you can't leave, you dumbass. Try.
As long as there's politics, there's going to be war, right, Hakate? That's true. Yeah. That's true. Unfortunately, it's usually a lot of civilians that suffer, innocent people.
Innocent like Salah? Innocent like him?
Please leave while I can. I'm not leaving my family ever again. But we're gonna see how it goes, Thanks, Nervous Rider.
Absolutely, Jericho.
Don't go away of Beirut if you go. If we had to leave, I don't know if I had to leave, I would probably go to another country and travel around, or we would. I don't know what I couldn't say. Some old historical buildings, yes. I really want to go to the souk, but
we're back.
It's covered. Do you think I would be okay in 100-degree weather? The souk is covered. I don't know. Or would it be too hot? I'm just scared.
You're
Oh,
scared
really?
of the
Hey,
heat,
Ufta,
but
I
you're
remember
not
you. I remember
scared
that
of
name,
Al
Ufta.
Qaeda?
Or am I
That's
dreaming?
amazing.
White hijab. No, I'm not. I'm close to the area being bombed, but I'm not like that close. Do you know
You
what I
can hear
mean?
it.
I'm like, I think I'm far enough away anyway.
You can hear it. If you can hear it, you're not far enough
What
away.
you say about Syrian politics? Yeah, I know. No, I'm very. I don't get involved. You're right. Like I just, but I don't agree. I don't like war at all. I don't like people being unalived and stuff like that. Like that, I'll
Then you're in
stand
the
by.
wrong
Like
place.
um,
You're in the wrong place. Because that
Juice
is
has a
what everything
passport.
is
Yes,
about in Dara.
we have all her files. She's microchipped. Passport.
She doesn't agree with war at all. But all those people in her neighborhood that have machine guns, they're so nice. They're so nice, you guys. She's literally talking about there's all these guys on the street corner. There's all these guys on the street corner, and they all have machine guns, and they know Salah, and they're so nice. Why is it they know Salah? What explain that to me, cutie? Why do they know Salah? Why are they allowing Salah to work on his family home? Why have they not taken the family home for themselves and given it to one of the soldiers? Why have they not done that? Are you thinking? Are you using your thoughts, Chantal? Or do you already know? My guess is the Canadian government will say that you already know why he is allowed to work on his family home, that they are letting him have it because he was in Kuwait, he was getting money and funneling it back to Syria. Isn't that right?
For vaccinations, health certificate from Kuwait. If the vet needs to give her updated certificates or shots, we have that. Wait till better weather. The sook is not that bad. Hey, Vampira, nice to see you.
You ever seen
Yes, it's
anybody
me,
so
Chantal.
well informed in your
Why
life?
do I look eggy? You know those like eggs in cartoons? She doesn't hate me.
Yes, she does. Absolutely, she hates you.
Have a go bag ready. She looks like a shameful broccoli. Hey, Jill.
I can't hardly watch this.
She has the strongest passport between us.
You dumbass.
Are you spoiled?
You're an idiot.
But being a tourist and staying here is different. I would probably imagine. It's bittersweet in a lot of ways.
What's bittersweet? They're killing people, Chantal. What's bittersweet, you idiot? Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't watch this.
No, we're not staying here forever. Like probably not.
You want to bet?
I don't know what the future will hold, It's hard to say.
Chantal, let's think about this a minute, okay? Let's put our little thinking caps on, okay? He's keeping you there. You're now on the front lines. You woke up last night in the middle of the night hearing the bombs falling. You are on the front lines of World War III, Chantal. Your husband brought you there and put you in this piece of shit room that is really a prison. You are living as a prisoner would live, with one window that is mostly obscured by a shell filter, a metal plate that's on the outside of the window that has a few little slats that had been, cut into it because of the bombing around. That's where your husband put you. He put you in a house with no running water. He put you in a cell, a jail cell with no running water, no air conditioning, very little electricity. So he's willing to do this to you while there is unbelievable war happening around you. And you sit there like a nincompoop and say, oh, we're not going to stay here forever. We're not going to stay here forever. We're going to travel. Chantal, does that make any sense? Does that make sense if this man would insert you into this nightmare living condition in a war zone with Al Qaeda in charge, but you're one day just going to be footloose and fancy free and travel the globe? Is that right, Chantal? Do you actually believe him? Okay, challenge, Chantal. If you believe him, if you still believe that he is your handsomest man, if you believe that Salah loves you above and beyond all others, I challenge you, tell him you need to go spend a week or a weekend, 2 days. Tell him that you need to go spend 2 days in Beirut. Just 2. That's all. Not even a week. Tell him you just need to go spend 2 days and get into some air conditioning and just relax and sort of get back to what you are comfortable with. Because here's what I can tell you, Chantal. When I lived in Egypt, in a mansion with running water and air conditioning and house workers and cooks, sometimes me and my daughter, we just had to get away. Because that kind of life, the Middle Eastern life, is very difficult. The heat, everything is very dirty. It is a very tough lifestyle. And I would say to my husband, Chantal, hey, me and the baby, the little girl, we kind of need a few days in what I called civilization. We need a few days in civilization, feeling a lot, run down. And you know what he would do, Chantal? By the end of the day, me and my daughter would have plane tickets and a hotel in London or Austria or wherever we decide to go in Europe. And he would willingly let us go, Chantal. He wouldn't have a problem. He'd say, sure, I get it. It's a tough life we're living here. You guys go, get back to the world that you know, the world that you're comfortable with. Get some relaxation, hang out by the pool, eat in the normal restaurants. I challenge you, Chantal. Tell Salah you need a few days in civilization. Tell Salah that you need a few days to recharge your battery in Beirut. Do it. Maybe then you'll stop this giggling and talking about food and acting like, this is a choice that you've made. Maybe the reality of what you married and what he's doing will finally enter into your little brain.
Free the chin? No. Yeah, Powder Puff, we do. I'm a real Middle Eastern beezer. She doesn't look like her passport photo. Someone said she looks like Lloyd Christmas.
Now she's
Western fast food
now
places.
she's giggling.
Well, apparently they have a mall somewhere that has like a real KFC, but I don't know.
No, it closed in 2013, Chantal. Jesus.
Good teddy bear.
You know what I'm beginning to think? I'm beginning to think she's already a prisoner. I'm beginning to think that Salah has already pulled the rug out from underneath her. because you've got to be an absolute moron to be listening to machine gun fire and bombs falling, exploding, and go live giggling and laughing about food and Kentucky Fried Chicken and your little cat. You've got to be, any of you, I'm just curious, let me look at my chat. Have any of you been military? Any of you been in a theater where there is actual, you can hear actual combat? Any of you done that? Yeah, he did take it the day that he went to the immigration. Yep, sure did. I could see her being left behind if they have to flee because she's such a liability. 100%, Lassie. Just think, there are other stupid women tricked over there. There are, and many of them live in these camps, Vicky, because their husbands were killed. And nobody wants the women after their jihadi husband is killed. They're either given to another Islamist, just given to a stranger, a man they don't know. And the man says, oh, this is my wife now. I have full control over her. So nobody that's in here has actually been in a theater of war. Okay, well, I have news for you guys. When you're listening to machine gun fire, when you are listening to the bombs and you can feel it in the soles of your feet when they explode, the thought, like things like cats and Kentucky Fried Chicken, well, hell, even crackers, food, that kind of thing, those are not the thoughts that you're having in your mind at all. The thoughts that go through your mind are, okay, am I safe? I need to get into a position with a barrier and make sure that, I'm as safe as one could be. And the other kind of thing that goes through your head is thoughts like your children and your spouse. Like that kind of thought will come in, like I need to write a note, or I need to try to send a message, email or text or whatever. Those kind of thoughts happen. But yeah, most people are not listening to bombs, even 10-mile away bombs. You're not thinking about food and laughing about cats. You're like trying to get information. You're trying to find out, what direction are they coming towards us? Are they moving away from us? What are there any passive egress? If I need to leave, what's the best way? Should I leave now? What could I carry? Water. That's the only thing that goes through your mind is, how do I carry water? Some people, water and like a concentrated form of sugar, because of the energy requirements. So this is kind of strange what she's doing. She can hear this. She has people in the streets that are carrying machine guns. She's living in absolute horrific. She would be more comfortable if she went outside and found her a place that she could like make it big enough that she could treat it as a bed and have rocks kind of around her as like a protection. She would be more comfortable like that in the dark at night, where there's circulating air, fresh air. Where they're at right now, there's no circulation. Even the fan that's blowing, it's simply blowing hot air, so it becomes a convection oven. Do you see what I mean by this? This appears to me that she's already been imprisoned. It appears to me that he's already taken the steps to lock her down, but she's just in denial. Remember, she didn't have the courage to ask him, I don't really know officially what my status is, until the camera was rolling and there were witnesses. You think that was by mistake? Look at the way that she looks at the camera. She did, that was purposeful. And he says to her, I have you forever. What man goes and registers his wife as a permanent resident of anything? Hell, my husband won't spend $100 without calling and saying, hey, is that all right? What do you think? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Do what you want to do. But it's not the point that he's asking me permission. It's the point that we have commitment to one another and our funds are together. And so we have a responsibility. If I'm going to buy something for $100, I'm going to call him and go, hey, thinking about going and, going on a shopping spree. I need some new work clothes because my work clothes are expensive. I'll be like, you got any problems with that? He's like, nope, do what you want. Or he might say, don't go over 500 or don't go over 200 or wait till the 15th. I mean, but that's adults that have shared finances being loyal and faithful to one another, that we won't mishandle one another's finances, right? You know what else my husband does, Chantal? My husband knows that I have money that is mine, that I have a savings account and banking accounts, that it's only my money. He has no claim on it. He has no way to access it at all. I did the same thing and taught my daughter, same exact thing. Women must always have access to their own money. And here's why. Because you don't ever know who you're actually living with. You don't ever know if something could go terribly wrong and then you got to go. Any young woman that gets married must have their own savings account. They must have their own savings account. Because if some man gets drunk and acts stupid, you got to get in a taxi and get your ass away fast. You've got to have the resources to be able to get in a hotel room until you can make some plans. You cannot stay in a house where an angry man is hitting you. What's this lady done? Hell, she's moved to a damn war zone where Al Qaeda is in charge, and she has turned everything over to her jihadist husband. Makes me so mad. For 10 years, I was trying to help these poor ladies. 10 years, and now you've got an idiot Canadian that jumps into it with both feet. Here, let me screw up my life. Here, hold my beer. Watch this.
And share life I had before too. Yeah. Did you ever come back and visit Vampira? You're from Lebanon, hey? Cyprus weather's gorgeous. The $17 meal that broke the internet, like getting hate for ordering a meal.
Island.
Like what? Soup near you? Not. Yes and no. It's not that far away. Her tail looks like Lumiere's girlfriend from Beauty and the Beast. Hey, Kate Potato.
God, I think he's already.
Just taking it a day at a time. KFG stands for King Fried Grilling. Really? Oh. I don't know. I never heard that. Grilled meat serve. Yeah, they serve a lot of grilled meat here. Yes. It's very delicious. Are there Labubus? I don't know, but I hate the Labubu. I hate it. I hate fad toys that cost $1 million for no reason. I do visit from time to time. Yes, and me and my family used to travel to Saudi Arabia through Syria, so I've been to Syria a lot in the past when I was a teenager. Oh, really? Nice. Yeah, you'll have to tell us some stories, or if you tried certain foods. People are freaking out because at KFG, Salah said he'll stay here forever. I know, he was joking around.
Oh,
maybe
he
was joking.
Oh, he was joking around. Y'all hear that when he said that she would be staying there forever? Did you hear? Oh, he's just joking around. He's such a little kidder. That's Stella. He's such a little kidder.
People are freaking out because at KFG, Salah said he'll stay here forever. I know, he was joking around.
No, he was not. You want to know something, Foodie? Prove it. Prove it. Tell him you need 2 days in civilization with round-the-clock air conditioning, that you just need to just go and get some refreshment back into the type of environment you are used to, and then you need to go and get you some insulin. Tell him he's your handsomest man. He loves you so ever much. Why would he deny you that? Why would he deny you a short little 2-hour drive to Beirut, 2 nights in a crappy little hotel with air conditioning. Why would he deny that to you, cutie? Ask him. I dare you. I dare you, Chantal. Ask him because he is going to tell you no.
Maybe he was joking. Is your sleep better? It's the same. Just means a little boo boo.
Look at the number of creases under her eyes. I don't know what he's given her, but it's really messing with her kidneys.
Oh, my face. Travel by car. Yeah, it's a nice trip because it's beautiful, eh? Up here, all the mountains.
No, it's not beautiful. It is not beautiful. It is bombed to kingdom come, Chantal. The fact that you could sit there and say, "Oh, it's so beautiful. There's mountains." No, there's hills and there are bombs. It's rubble. Okay, it's not beautiful. And your delusional thought is finally probably put you in a situation that you're going to die there.
Will you be staying more than 2 weeks? Yes. Oh, it
Stay
was
there
popular?
forever.
Oh, dear. Like when I was a kid, I liked fad toys, like strawberry shortcake, My Little Pony, before they were annoying. Like the My Little Pony in the 80s, they were so calming, like, quick, we must run away to the valleys. And in the modern one, they're like, I used to argue with Pete about that. Like, I don't like the new one. What the heck? Latakia Beach in Syria? Yes, I hear that there's tensions there. There was recently a huge wildfires, wasn't there? But yeah, that's where the coast is. I do want to go sometime. I'm a pick me because I don't like the boo-boos. What? Something bit me. Hey, Natalia. That was a perfect imitation of old and new. Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, Chantal, because when I was 41 years old, I wasn't watching cartoons, except maybe if I was watching with my children. I wasn't doing a dissertative study on the befores and afters of My Little Pony. You might want to stop worrying about that and start worrying about the actual real type of political tensions that you are currently sitting right in the middle of. And the fact that Israel has now declared war on you and your jihadi husband, you got a real problem.
300 Beanie Babies. Yeah, I didn't really get that, no. Jabroni ponies? Far from a picnic. I should make a Labeezer puppy. Yeah, the old school pony dolls. Yeah, they were horses. They look like horses.
They're My Little Pony.
Hello, Free Gossip. Thank you, Vampira.
Right?
Yeah, I drove through Beirut to get here,
working
but I
our
didn't get to
asses
stop
off,
much and see
right?
it. I couldn't believe all the mountains and stuff.
They're not mountains, they're hills. And you know that because
three
you've
Labubu
got
children?
mountains in Canada.
Are you a Labubu
real
fan?
Mountains.
Cindy Ann. Oh, Cindy Ann's the ghost lady. Are you the ghost lady, Cindy Ann?
I swear he's already dropped the bomb on her.
I used to love Polly Pockets, playing house with Polly Pockets. I love those.
Nobody sits in this jail cell that she's in. I mean, her living conditions are actually not much better. Actually, they're worse. I'm gonna restate that. Her current living condition is worse than that of Charlie Adelson. Charlie Adelson is in a jail in Florida, unair conditioned right now. But you know what Charlie Adelson has? He's got a concrete floor and wall, just like Cutie. He's got one window with a metal bar over it, a metal plate over it, just like Cutie. And he's got 3 square meals cooked a day, unlike Cutie. He has access to all kinds of delicious snacks from the cantina, unlike Cutie. He has running water, unlike Cutie. He has hot and cold running water, unlike Cutie. Gosh, that's amazing. There's air conditioning in some parts of the prison where he can at least escape some of the heat. I don't know, Cutie. I say you're a lot better off to come to Florida, kill someone so that you can get put in prison for the rest of your life for murder, and you'll be in a hell of a lot better living circumstances than what you are right now. And Charlie Adelson is not in a war zone, Cutie. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's very close up here. Yeah, you're right. It's nice
There
to hear
you
the birds
go,
and not just the
Stephen.
rooster. Hey,
Well
Reese
said.
PC. Morning. They're not going to be worth anything, are they? Your Polly Pocket collection was massive.
She
Used to
just
chew on Polly
quit
Pocket
taking
clothes.
insulin.
Jam, yes.
Stop,
Jam.
Snickers.
Jam is
She
outrageous.
just quit.
Ooh, Jam. Pogs. I used to play Pogs. And I used to collect those things that you hit the Pogs with, the keys. Clueless Polly Pocket. Oh my gosh. Pokemon.
Okay, this
No,
is
the rooster.
my number one. Let me say this: Snickers. You're an amazing person, and your survival instinct is powerful. So, congratulations for being an adult. No, really, changing your life like that just overnight, just going, my blood sugar is what? And then actually doing the work to get to a healthy place, that is very rare. And you are a warrior beast. Okay. This person right here, she's literally listening to bombs explode, gunfire, and she's talking about toys. And look at the whites of her eyes. Look at the swelling around her eyes. She's dying. We're literally watching her die. And she's talking about toys. She's talking about all kinds of toys. Do you think this indicates that Salah has taken control of her? It's over now for her. The thing that I've been warning her about, that I warned her about 3 years ago, it has now come full circle, and here we are. I guarantee you she cannot leave. He would never let her leave.
It was crowing earlier. Yeah, she seems, she seems okay. She seems the same. Lex, we have to go get wet food because I tried to give her this thing. Tuna. Applicable to all cat species, it says. Tuna, seaweed, olive oil, taurine, amino acids, fish oil, minerals, and probiotics. There's nothing bad in here. She doesn't want it. That's probably why. The ones we used to get probably had additives. She doesn't like them. Why are you picky?
So in the West, we hurt our animals by having additives, but now that you're in Syria, everything is so great, and the government loves you and cares for you and cares for your animals. Is that what you're saying? She has been so radicalized. She is living in an upside down world of reality.
I'm going to give this to a cat outside. So we have to go get her wet food because the vet doesn't want her eating crunchies right away. But she's...
My guess is she can't eat the crunchy food because she's got such bad teeth decay because you didn't take care of her teeth. That's my guess why she shouldn't be eating the crunchy stuff. There's another possibility too. It may be that she's not getting enough hydration. She may not be getting enough to drink because she can smell that there's germs in the water that you're giving her. You might want to switch over to bottled water for your pets.
Taurine is great for cat teeth. Yeah, they need to have some in their diet, I heard. Fingerboards, yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a stray around that will eat it. No, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sofas and 2 in the kitchen, but They're kind of shabby.
Oh, you're rich, aren't
If
you?
we were staying here, I would invest in, like, I would say, let's get, some kind of couch cover, but chicky. I know. If I had a blender, I would make her wet food. I would just get some chicken and blend it with water. She loves
Go
chicken.
get a blender.
Sofa's in the kitchen.
You're living in such a great location, Foodie. It's so wonderful where you live. So Jolani and the Islamist government, all they want is, calf manna from heaven. They are just gonna just take such good care of you guys. Just rush right out and get you a blender so you can make fresh chicken for your cat. Why don't you do that? I know why. I know why you don't do that. And besides, even if you did, you don't have enough electricity to run the damn thing, do you? Even if you found one, which you won't. Why? I know why. You can stop your delusional bullshit. You can stop this game that you've got going on where you're just producing something so that you can make money for your jihadi husband. You go right on ahead. You go right on ahead. But there are plenty of people like me, cutie, that know damn well what the situation is that you're living in when that camera goes off.
Yeah.
And you know what else, cutie? Ain't no one coming to save you. There's no one to come save you. The only people that would protect you are the Israelis when they come to town to clear that area out. You might find a good person among the Israeli soldiers. I'm not saying you will, but you might find a normal person that might help you. But those bastards standing around with the machine guns, they are killers. And they don't give a damn about you. You are the property of a man they know.
The kitchen is it's like the off area of the kitchen where the fridge is. No, I didn't get to go to the soup yet. I do really want to go. We're going to go. I'm just waiting for a bit cooler weather so I don't die. Boil chicken and shred it. Hey, Shamsa. I have to use my cooker, my gas cooker. I was thinking of going to a supermarket and trying to cook. Maybe that would be a good video or live stream, trying to cook with the little gas thing. Like a whole meal, but the rolly chair is better.
His eyes asked this question. Why is this person important who lives in Kuwait, right? So this person doesn't currently live in Kuwait. They're in Syria, in Dara, okay? It is my estimation, it's my conclusion that Salah got wrapped up in a group of Kuwaiti nationals in Kuwait. Syrian nationals in Kuwait who were fundraising for money to send back to the freedom fighters in Syria. That would actually make him a notable person in Syria today because the president Jolani is himself Al-Qaeda. He's actually from the Golan Heights. So the fact that her husband has been allowed his eyes to go to Dara to work on his family home that was abandoned at the start of the war, to reclaim the family land, to do repairs on the family home, the fact that they are eating large dinners with other people, those are all things that together, that information would lead to the belief that he is known in the Dara community as being part of their Al-Qaeda brotherhood. So he has been given free reign. She herself said a couple of days ago that the men with the machine guns that are so friendly, so nice, that they know Salah. So he's been fundraising I have no doubt about it. He's been fundraising in Kuwait. I'm sure that Murad is probably another one that was doing fundraising, living in Kuwait, but working for the common goal of the brotherhood and sending the money back, right? So he's been welcomed with open arms. He's been given, you can go to SyriaHR.com and you can read nearly every day farmers, people that have returned, they left during the war and they've now returned to Syria and they're trying to go back to their family home. They're trying to go back to their family land and reclaim it. And they're getting shot and killed because now the land and the houses belong to the Syrian fighters, not the Assad fighters. It belongs to the Al Qaeda HTS fighters that are now in charge. So all that land, all those houses have been given to the fighters. And there is no other explanation. Absolutely none. There is no explanation for why Salah has been allowed to move freely in Dara, to reclaim his family land, to reclaim his family home, to work on it, get it ready to live in. There's absolutely no reason that they would be doing that if he was not seen as a brother. And the very fact that they moved there and now they're eating she never cooks, they're eating with a bigger group of people. She talks about how a group of Salah's friends wanted to keep her for a couple of weeks. She is so clueless about where she is. But I guarantee you right now, today, as we speak, Canada knows who she is because Canada knows everything that is happening in southern Syria. Just like the United States knows, just like Lebanon knows, just like England knows. And Salah and her being allowed to come in and start work on the family, they've already started going, now who the hell is this Salah al-Rafai? Who is this? Why is he being given this freedom to move about? What is it why are these soldiers friendly with him, inviting him to their family dinners? What is happening here that this new guy has come into Dara and he escapes Kuwait when there's legal investigation? Who is this man and who is his family? That is exactly what is happening right now. So, Syria recognizes dual citizenship. The United States, we do not have dual citizenship. Canada does. So you can have your Canadian citizenship and even a Syrian citizenship, and Canada would say it's okay for you to come back in the country. So that's not the problem. The problem is actually Syria. So Syria does not I'm talking about Syria after the fall of Assad, since March 2025 to now. Syria does not recognize dual relationship. And if you are in Syria, you have permanent residency in Syria, then you are bound legally to all of the benefits and the demands of being a Syrian citizenship. And your Canadian passport is just a piece of paper. It's junk, means nothing. So her problem will be she's not going to be able to just get on an airplane and leave. They're going to stop her at the airport and they're going to want to talk to her husband. And her husband is going to have to actually give her permission to leave. If Salah refuses that, the airport will never let her on an airplane. So no trouble if she can get on the airplane, then she'll have no trouble at all. Next place she lands, let's say Istanbul, maybe Egypt, wherever she happens to go, The next place she lands, she pulls out that Canadian passport. She's great. She's golden. Now, once she gets to Canada, if she has been flagged, and I happen to believe that she probably has, just knowing how it works, I think she and Salah have been flagged, right? Just because of this, just because they've popped up in Dara, there are assets on the ground, and those assets have said, hey, we got a weird situation here. We got a Kuwaiti guy and a obviously Western woman who is being allowed to move about freely and work on their farm, their house, whatever. Who are they? Like, why are they here? And so the assets are trying to figure out exactly who are they? Why have they been welcomed with open arms? Because that's going to lead them back to the fundraisers in Kuwait and Canada. So that, not that they are special, but the fact that they're being given privilege in this particular area. Okay, let me put it another way. If I went down there and said, oh, I want to be on the cutting edge of reconstruction, I want to buy this apartment and I want to work on it and bring it back to life, they're going to, even if I buy it, even if I pay someone the money, they're going to come kill me and they're going to say, you don't belong here. You don't get a claim over our land. You're the infidel. You don't get to do this. This is sacred land. This is the land of our brothers, of our ancestors. And this is reserved for basically what amounts to the Islamist brotherhood. So I get killed and they just reclaim the apartment for one of their brothers. So it is a weird thing that Salah has been welcomed in and moves about freely. And she said specifically, they know me and Salah. And then she corrected herself and she said, they know Salah. And oh my God, they're so nice. Okay, an asset on the ground, someone who's pretending to be a fighter, a freedom fighter, they're going to be watching all this and they're going to be going, okay, who is this? Like, why are they all friendly? They're going to get message back to whoever they're reporting to. And they're going to say, we got a weird thing here. Somebody from Kuwait has come in and everybody's welcoming them. Why? And that's what they'll be. That will be the actual focus of the investigation. Why has this person been given free reign in Dara? They wouldn't give me free reign. They wouldn't give you free reign. So why? I think she's probably already been flagged. I think if she were to try to fly that to Canada, I think Canada would look and just say, why are you here? We don't need you in our country. You're a dangerous person. You're not going to come in and fundraise for terrorists. No, go away. That's what I think is actually happening. And her being so, like, they're really in a war zone where there's active fire. And she's talking about toys. She's clearly, her kidneys are breaking down. She just said, I'm not going to take insulin. I don't need insulin. She is not in a good place mentally. There's something sinister about how this is all playing out.
Yeah, it could be a lounge. I don't know. Do you bear? Aw. That's good. That's good for them to eat real food. Do fans recognize me? No. Hey, Shamsa. Good. How are you? From my childhood and old days back in the Middle East, I miss it so much. Aw. Yeah, I bet. Good memories probably for you, hey?
Dumbass.
I almost caught fire. Any plans for today? I don't know. Gotta go get Juice some food. Don't know what I want to do. Why do my eyes look weird?
Because of your brain pills. Because of your shisha.
I still go visit, but not much. Enjoy every moment. Yes. I'm going to try for sure.
Oh, you're going to enjoy every moment? You don't look like you're enjoying it at all.
Ambrosius was my picky baby. Only wanted dry fruits and Timothy Hay. No substitutions. Timothy Hay, all rest in peace, Ambrosius.
Like, sincerely, you do not look like you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Noodle squishy. I mean, yeah. Kinda. Can't complain, you know.
Are you sure? Why? Will he
I
hit
have
you?
bags.
If you complain, will he slap you? Is that why you can't complain?
Brave spirit to get there, and much respect for being a real Middle Eastern. Thank you, Vampire. That's so kind of you. Thank you for the warm welcoming. Stay hydrated, yeah. Hey, worst. Thanks, Miss Chad.
He's
I
there
don't want
right
to use up all
now.
my
He's
internet during the
there
day.
right now watching.
I get
me.
more
What did
gigabytes
you
from
say?
1 a.m. to 9 a.m. So I kind of want to reverse my sleep schedule just so I can bees more during the night.
Oh, while he's sleeping? Really?
Oh,
Go
beautiful
ahead.
bear. That's a beautiful
Nobody can
afterlife
get
for
you
him, honestly.
to you. Nobody can help you. Nobody would even try right now.
Yeah. Oh no, Haley. Hey, Secret Sugar Mama. New adventures? Well, I'm in Syria. My son's doing a play about accident Egyptians. What? What does that mean, Mimi? Accident Egyptians. Data? It's like I think $5 for a plan that gives you 60 gigs. So I go through that pretty quick. So we have to keep buying them. So costs, I don't know, probably it depends. Depends how many times I fill up. Every other day, a few days, I'm filling up on gigs. Hey, Angela. The thing is that I don't use my nighttime ones from 1 to 9, so they always accumulate. I haven't heard of a cinema here I know. Hey, Dancing Shoes. Yeah, we're okay, but the bombs were pretty close to us. So how's the weather in Syria? Hot. No, it's a pretty good price. You too, Cynthia. Hey, Pumpy. Insomnia has some benefits being able to catch you live. There you go. How you doing?
Here's another aspect to this as well. So if they get within if they start getting within, actually, that's actually wrong. If I would think, let me put it this way. I would think that if they are within 50 miles of the bombing, I would think there's a strong likelihood that Israel will knock out communications, right? If they get within 30, if their targeted locations are within 30 miles of where she is, then I have no doubt that they will end communications. Meaning they're going to knock out the cell signals. They're going to the only type of communication that you can use is old school radio, shortwave radio. So it's probably just a matter of time that she's even going to lose her phone signal.
Juice. Do you think it's right for the children to work?
Exactly, Lee. It's just incredible.
I think it's more out of necessity, Angela. It's like a cultural thing, so you know. I don't know. I was like, what? What? Ancient Egyptian, not accident. I should have put that together, but I didn't, so I'm probably the dumb one. I don't know. I was like, what? What? I think it's more out of necessity, Angela. It's like a cultural thing, so
what is she talking about there?
Go. How you doing? Juice. Do you think it's right for the children to work? I think it's more out of necessity, Angela. It's like a cultural thing, so
I don't know what was asked. Let's see if
I don't know. I was like, what? What? Ancient Egyptian, not accident. I should have put that together, but I didn't, so I'm probably the dumb one.
Probably. You're literally
like the kids are in school here, and then they help their families after hours. I guess just if they have like this kid that was serving us, it was like his family's business. So I don't know. It's not like yeah. It's a circumstantial thing. Yeah, exactly. Well, Salah gave him a nice tip, that's for sure. He was like, no. So he made some good money. He just brought us like our drinks. That's about it. He took pride in it. You could tell. Really cute little guy. Cute kid. Well, he wasn't like a kid. He was probably like 12, 13. But the legal age I think in Canada when I first worked was 16. So not that far off. I don't know. I don't see like
not
5-year-olds,
far off
6-year-olds.
from
They're usually
8,
like 13, something like that. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, pretty
they're
close to us
putting
there, actually. There
8-year-old
was yesterday.
children
Yeah.
to work, you
It's really
idiot.
sad. Yeah, they're still a child, I know, but 16 a lot of places. I try not to judge how other people live, you know?
Oh, you try not to judge other people? Are you sure, Chantal? Come on, sister. What the hell are you talking about? I want to bring home what she just said. In Syria, post Assad, since the jihadist Jolani took over as president, the legal age for work is 8. 8 years old. 8. She just said that in Canada it's like 16, and that's pretty close. That's not really that far apart. The difference between an 8-year-old child and a 16-year-old teenager is not a big difference. You know what that means? That she would say something so categorically stupid. That means that Salah is in the room with her. He is there with her, monitoring what she says, which is why she says nothing. She does 20 or 25 minutes of roll call. Then she laughs stupidly and talks about old toys. She makes a couple of motions toward the cat, talks about going shopping, like, oh, I'm just going to run down to the Walgreens and pick up some cat food. But in the background, you can hear machine gun fire and bombs exploding. Why do you think she's ignoring all that? We know Chantal. The normal Chantal would be freaking out and terrified. But instead, she appears to be drugged and talking foolish. And the poor cat hates her and doesn't want to touch her. I'm so sorry, Julia.
You have stick legs. Why is she
so
skinny?
Sorry
I never knew she was
that
this skinny.
Woman
Hi,
chose
baby.
you.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the juicy sleeps tonight.
You're so
Just call it. Did your mom take you to the airport, travel to Syria, and what was her reaction when she told you were going? It just seems so scary. I hope you, Salah, and Julia continue to stay safe. Thank you, Just Call It, for the super chat. I didn't want to tell her at first when I made up my mind. Don't you scratch mom and bite mom. And then closer to when I was leaving, I was like she just knew. She's like, are you going to Syria, cutie? And I was like, there's nothing wrong with giving wet food to a cat. No, of course not. Yeah. Hey, Anastasia. And I was like, yeah, she was really worried, obviously. You know?
She should have had you arrested.
So I tried to, you made juice a shrub in the shape of a cat outside a hotel. So yeah, she was worried.
Mother should have had you arrested and committed to a hospital.
You know, I tried to ease her mind a bit with, thank you, Peachy.
What's wrong? Do you have lice?
We call it sand, and if you did my hair like that, I may or may not bite you. Juice. Oh my baby. She's so soft though, like her fur. But she's skinny. You need to eat, baby. But she's not underweight. Cats look this small. She has. Don't you bite mom? Ow! You bit mom.
She hates you.
Mom. Like you bite mom?
She has more sense than you do.
Moving to Syria is a move most people don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that face. Oh, I love micro expressions. I love micro expressions. They say it all. Micro expressions cannot be hidden. They cannot be hidden. It's a direct connection between your brain and the muscles in your face. And then a different part of your brain takes over and says, "Oh, you got to hide this. You got to hide this thought. You got to hide this real thing." But I'm fixing to show you what I mean by the micro expressions. I'm talking about in that moment. Okay, I gotta make it quiet too so you can't hear it because it goes. Wow, look at that. She's saying most people wouldn't understand a move to Syria. Gosh, cutie, where's the smiles? Where's the giggles? Where's all the talk about how nice all the people are? Because that micro expression is, yeah, I get it now. Holy hell, I understand. But old Salah is sitting there, isn't he? He's sitting right there watching you. He's listened to every word he's told you. Be pleasant, be happy, don't reveal our location, and don't say anything about Syria. Just keep the minutes going so that I can get my money. Man, I hate that son of a bitch. Salah, you are a piece of shit. You will live your life in hell. You'll never make it into heaven. Never. You are zift. You are a donkey's ass. Watch. Look at that. Look at that. Holy shit. Look at her. Wow, is that not powerful? Oh my God, I'm nauseated. This poor woman. Mm, mm, mm. This poor woman. Golly. Golly. Okay, the question is most people wouldn't understand a move to Syria. Because she wants to go back to Kuwait where it's normal. Because she's not stupid. Now here it is. Watch. Most people would not understand a move to Syria. Watch her reaction.
Moving to Syria is a move most people don't understand. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. As she scratches the lice on the top of her head. Well, what do you guys think? It is, Lee. Right? His eyes, we would hope that this was just a catfish, but it wasn't. She did this willingly because she didn't believe that we were telling the truth. She didn't believe that all of the people trying to educate her, she believed no one. She chose to believe a Syrian man who we now see is actually one of the Brotherhood. It is that knowing what she's living right now, it makes me very sick. Yeah, yeah, Snickers. I think it's a little darker than that, right? I think she's controlled. You can definitely see she wants to say something. He's in the room with her. I think he's already taken control of her. I think she's already probably had a good beating or two. Would be my guess. Just watch her reaction, the micro expression.
Moving to serious move most people don't understand. Yeah.
She says, yeah. Now watch that. He's trying to think of something to say that won't get her a beating. She can't.
True.
True. And I fucked up. And I don't know what to say. And I have lice. And I'm dying.
Uh,
I need help. Somebody please read my body language. I'm in trouble. I can't say anything.
Anyways, have faith in God and
Somebody believe me. Somebody listen to me.
that helps me be brave with doing a lot of things.
Tell us about Salah.
Salah and Julia, they're my family.
No, they're not.
And I just don't want to live apart from them.
Salah is not your family.
And, so
Salah is your jailer.
I was thinking, can I go to Syria? Salah was like, you don't want to come here. Don't come here. Don't come here. Blue, I'm a big supporter of Yo Mama and him calling out the hypocritical bully reactors. You're way more brave than me and most. Thank you, Blue. Yes, I agree. Go to Syria just to try KFG. Yeah, yesterday for our meal we had.
I'm curious. A suicide bomber, somebody, or a like, if you'd be willingly to put a bomb vest on and go into a government building, would we call that brave? If you think that that would require bravery as opposed to some level of delusional thought, those are two different things, right? If your child, let me give it a different example. If there's a house on fire, if there's a house on fire and you've got to go in the house to check and see if there's any little kids in the house to save them. If you say to yourself, I have a magical cloak on, God gave me a magical protection around my body, I can go into that burning house and check and see if there's any kids. And so you run in to the burning building with your God-given magical cloak and you die. Okay, is that bravery or is that delusional thought? It's delusional, right? You don't have a magic cloak that God can make you immune to fire. That's not anything real at all. So you would do this act of honor to save children based on a delusional belief, right? But what if you knew that your child was in that burning house? That you drive up to your friend's house, it's on fire, you know your baby's in there, and you say, I don't care what's going to happen. I don't care if I get hurt. I don't even care if I die. I have to at least try to get my child out. And so I go running into that burning building. Is that bravery or is that delusional thought? it would be it would be bravery to run into a house to save a child knowing that you're likely to die, but you still have to you make this decision to do it anyway, compared to I have to run in and save this child and I won't get hurt because I have God's magical fire resistant cloak. That's the difference between bravery and delusional thought, which is what happens with suicide bombers. They're not putting on the dynamite and going into a government building saying, I'm going to die, but I'm willing to do this and be a brave warrior. That's not why they do that. They do that because the clerics brainwash them and tell them you are going to be martyred, your name will live on, and people will worship you, and you're going to be in paradise. You're going to be living a life that doesn't exist on this earth. You're going to be richer than anyone else that's in paradise. You're going to have all the money that you need. You're going to have all the food. You're going to live in grand mansions. You're going to have beautiful wives. You yourself are going to be physically beautiful. That's a big one for them. Y'all may not know that. If you martyr yourself and you go to paradise, God, Allah, is going to make you physically beautiful. The men in the Middle Eastern countries really tell one another how beautiful they are. They're a very vain group of people, right? So they really will build up your physical appearance, try to build you up. Oh, yes, you're exactly right, Jennifer. He took her to the Museum of the Martyrs. Yes. Yeah, she has totally been radicalized, Jennifer. She is absolutely brainwashed. Now, we just saw some micro expression there. I think she knows she's in trouble. Between the KFG video where she says, well, I don't exactly know my status, and now this, I am firmly in the belief that she is being brutalized. I think she's in a very precarious, dangerous place with Salah now. I believe that now. I have been worried about that developing. I've warned her about that developing. I think now we got pretty good reason to believe it's happened, right? She can't even pray or answer basic questions about Islam. She isn't radical, just stupid. Well, she's been radicalized in terms of accepting Salah's lifestyle and the lifestyle of his friends. She is only a slave. She's not a Muslima. She doesn't know Islam. She hasn't studied. They do, the far right, they do limit information. They don't train and teach their women. They don't want women to know things that is the man's ability to know. In just regular normal Muslims, that's not the case. But definitely far right, the women are just house slaves and sex workers. That's all they are. Yep. She takes everything Salah says as the word of God, so to speak. But because that is, for the jihadists, that's what they tell you, is that they are close to God because they're men. He did not want her to go to Syria. You could tell he was irritated that she was there. No, I think that was manipulation, Harper. You have to look at it this way, Harper. He has no money, right? He has no. I do think they probably sold the car, and I think they probably sold items that were in the apartment. I think they were able to I think they liquidated their assets and got a chunk of money, which would have been a lot of money to spend in Syria because the exchange rate is so off the top of the charts. But you have to understand that Chantal is incredibly valuable to someone like Salah. He's unemployable. He doesn't have any skills. He's not an educated professional. He wasn't working in Kuwait. He had this weird kind of shadow life. Not even she knew what he was doing, where he was going. You remember the video when she said, I haven't seen Salah in a few days. I don't know where he is. I don't guess he's supporting me anymore. Remember that? He just goes missing for periods of time. Um, so she becomes incredibly valuable in terms of a long range plan because she can make an income. She can generate an income. So he's walking a fine line between keeping her in belief. He's got to keep her in belief that he's a good guy and he's working on the behalf of good people. But he's also got to make sure that she understands that he sets the rules and that if she gets out of line, they could be in danger. So he's going to be very heavy handed. Look, look, I know you guys that love her. I know that you guys want to believe that this is some kind of love affair that they've got going on. But let me redirect you back to a critical moment in Chantal history. Never forget this. Those of you that are Beezers and you're in here, never forget what I'm about to tell you. This man kicked her on a live stream with hundreds of people watching, and she had only been there weeks. You guys have forgotten that. Salah may laugh and he may joke and he may seem to be a friendly sort of fellow. He is a brutal man. He was willing to bring a strange woman from the West a life of luxury and comfort and a life of plenty. He was willing to bring her into Syria, into a theater of war. He kicked her after only knowing her literally, let's say, a few months. So I know you guys are all in fantasy. I know you're enjoying this make believe love story. I get that. I'm not denying you that. But somebody is going to have to be an adult. Someone is going to have to be an adult and put some real information out there. There's nothing natural about this. There's nothing loving or kind about this. You might ask yourself, why would this man pay money to get this cat from Kuwait to Syria? Look, you got to understand something. There's cats everywhere in the Middle East. They're everywhere. Getting a Persian cat, that's not a hardship. That is not a hardship. Why did he do that? Does anyone know? Make a guess. Why would he take Julia? Why would he pay the money to get her all the shots, to get her a pet passport? Why would he do that? There's a reason. He did it. It was done on purpose. What was it? That was the bait, right, Sabin? That was the bait. Do you know, how many of you like so I know that my kids are my family, or my parents are my family, or my brother. I know they're my family, right? So if I'm talking to someone and they say, "Tell me about your family," then I say, "Oh, well, I've been married to my high school sweetheart and we have a couple of kids and they're doing great. They're both well educated, have professions, have a granddaughter who's precious." Do you tell people who your cat is or who your dog is? If someone says, um tell me about your family," you don't, do you? You say who the people are. Now, do I have my little dog? And okay, so like here's an example. So my son took one of my dogs for himself. Because look, we're like Noah's Ark around here, okay? took one of my little dogs that I bottle fed, hand raised like a little baby, and she is lovely. She's got two bright blue eyes. He said she was a chick magnet. And so but she's a sweetheart, he loved her. So he takes her. Well, she comes over for sleepovers, right? Like he'll say, "Mom, I'm going out of town. Can Macy come over?" The little dog's name is Macy. Can she come over and stay? Will you keep her? And then I will joke around and say, "Oh, my granddaughter is coming to stay." I don't think this dog is my granddaughter. I'm being goofy. I'm joking around and playing, right? If somebody says, "Tell me about your family," I'll talk about my actual granddaughter, right? My daughter's child, who I should say looks like me. Okay. But I don't say, "Oh, and I have another granddaughter named Macy, and she comes over for granny sleepovers." No, that would be so bizarre. So where did this come from that Chantal one day just jumped up and started saying, "Oh, Salah and Juice are my family"? He inserted that idea into her. He told her that the cat was her daughter. He told Chantal that the cat was her child. We are a family. And so now, not only is it about, well, I've got to be really nice to her and treat her really sweet so that she will come to me. But taking the cat, that was just gravy. Now he uses those very emotional words. We're your family. So if you've ever seen the manipulation of a cult, they're not overtly, "You must come here and be with us." There's a lot of finesse to it. So when he knows that when she goes to Canada, it's not going to last. He knows that about her. He's seen it in action. He had sexual talk with a beezer in the most disgusting fetish, religious type of disgusting crap you've ever heard in your life. It is put out publicly on the internet, affecting her job, and she still took him back. You think he doesn't know that? You think he doesn't know that once she gets to Canada, things are going to melt down? You think about it. When was it that she actually made the decision to leave and go to Syria? When she got that cat, right? She got the apartment, and look, she was so happy with the little apartment. You could see it all. It was real. She was so happy in that apartment, opening up her pillows, talking about stuff. We never saw her weep. We never saw her weep. She never cried. But what happened when she got the gray cat? What happened? How long did it take? She got the cat. The cat showed up on video. She talked about it, and within 24 hours, she was rehoming that cat and on the way to Syria. Why? Because Salah said, "Holy shit, if she sets up an apartment and she's got a cat, I'll never get her here." And I'll guarantee you, he started the pressure. He put on the pressure. "We're family. Juice misses you. We miss you so much. We're so lonely without you." Guarantee you. Guarantee. If she sets up house in Canada, she's got to pay rent. If she gets a cat, she's got to buy cat food. He's watching and going, "Golly, this is less money that's going to be coming to me. I need the money. I don't need her paying for rent. I need her money." And so then he's like, "All right, I'm going to have to bring her here." And that was that. Within 24 hours, was no mistake. We never saw him coming into her chat for like 2 weeks. He wasn't anywhere around. But when it got close to payday, like 2 days before payday, he pops in and she's just like a little schoolgirl. The cat shows up a few days later. Suddenly, boom, he's in there all the time. And the next thing we know, she's on a plane to Syria. So, Beezers, I get it. You want this to be a romantic love story. You got to understand something. Why are there people with machine guns all around their house? Why are they being taken to large dinners? Why are they being allowed to renovate the family home? Why? You guys better wake up, stop blowing smoke up her ass, stop telling her how great she looks, stop telling her that he loves her so much. Stop. He is brutalizing her. It's all over her face in that question. Most people wouldn't understand the decision to come to Syria. Watch.
But she's not underweight. Cats
This is
look
for the
this small. She
Caesars.
has.
Came into the channel.
Don't you bite,
Watch her
mom? Ow!
queen. Watch her face.
You bit mom. You bit
The
mom.
question is going to be most people wouldn't understand coming to Syria. Watch her
Why
face.
did you bite mom? Stinky.
Watch. This is not a woman who's there willingly.
Moving to Syria is a move most people don't understand. Yeah.
Watch her face.
True.
Okay. Beezers. You think your queen is happy? You think your queen is safe? Absolutely not. And Salah is not a romantic fellow. He's a brutal bastard. He kicked her on the live stream with the world watching after only knowing her a couple of months. He is not a nice guy. Yeah, totally agree, Def. Oh, this is sad. This is I'm at the point in this thing that I'm sorry that I ever started talking about it on my channel. It's this is exactly what I fight against. And when I say what I fight against, I'm talking about the people that live there that are experiencing this. Like the Egyptian women that are basically a man's property and they're prisoners in their own home. This was a Western woman that willingly did this. And I've helped Western ladies, but this was different because it was like, no, 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 don't go, don't go, don't go. And she was so smart. She was so smart. She said I was so racist. Ugh, it's just really hard to watch at this point now. I do have something else for you to listen to if you want to stick around. Let me find it. All right. So this man, he is a Druze. He's of the Druze religion faction. So let's listen.
warmonger. I don't, enjoy carrying loads of weapons and living in a hut in the middle of the. People were bought by Qatar, so they don't have it. I think it's like about 80
Syria and sort of joining their brothers in arms. And we just saw this about a couple hours ago. We saw now the number. We're looking at several outlets here. The number is over 1,000 Israeli Druze that have crossed over into Syria. That's the current number.
It's gonna get
and
bigger.
my guess is going to continue to get bigger. There's reports of caravans of
The
buses.
army is coming.
Yeah, caravans of buses of Israeli Druze that are going up to the Golan Heights border to join their brothers inside Syria and fight alongside them. And people might not know this. I mean, many of the Israeli Druze serve in the army and the armed forces. A very high percentage of them in special forces, in combat units.
They actually have the highest rate of combat unit.
That's right.
Among all of the Israelis, because they're
I believe it.
I think it's like about 80%, maybe went down to 60, while the other groups are 20 to 15%. So most Druze men go to combat unit.
So what they're talking about, so Israel, so they had a ceasefire. The ceasefire was broken about 12 hours ago, and Israel has now entered this. Well, basically, Israel has declared war on Syria, and it is focused on the border where Cutie is. It is focused on the border, southern Syria, the border area toward the Golan Heights and Jordan, and they're coming. My understanding is that Israel has made the decision that they want to establish a demilitarized zone between Syria and the Golan Heights in order to protect the Druze population, some Coptic Christians, Israelis. And if they establish here's what they're going after. It's my opinion. They're going after the Al-Qaeda stronghold that is there where Cutie is, the Dara Sawida area. They want that gone. That's a dangerous group of jihadists. They're living, that is their kingdom. That's the jihadi kingdom, right? So I think, my opinion, I think they're going to go in and they're going to take everything like from Dara south. I think they're going to go ahead and destroy all of that so that they can set up an area of militarized protection that will give a real buffer for the Golan Heights and Jordan. And they have allowed a jihadist, an Islamist, to be president of Syria. Syria is basically a legally Al-Qaeda country.
Go to special forces. And there's a lot of these Druze that have showed, and many of them are generals, officers in the army. I was an officer. They're very trained, very capable. And I tell you what, Mati, and I think some people might miss the reason they just now broke into Syria. Because I haven't did that yesterday. The slaughter started yesterday before, just now. Yeah. When they started hearing that Sueda is about to fall, the biggest Druze population on earth is in Syria. There's about 1.5 million Druze all across the world. Mm-hmm. Most of them live in Syria, and most of them live in Sueda. That's the Druze mountain. When they realized that the jihadists are inside with tanks, with artillery, they're using drones, by the way, that apparently, as per my sources on the ground in Syria, were bought by Qatar. So they don't have drones, the Druze. They have just AK-47 and some sniper guns, maybe an RPG or two. They're running out of ammunition. They're fighting against tanks, artillery, drones, military equipment against the army of Syria. So when the Druze realized that Sueda is about to fall and that it's been held by a needle, by a hair thread, just because there's brave, strong men and women that are refusing, by the way. And if anyone American is hearing it right here, here's a very good reason why you should not let your people just get disarmed because the government promised you. Because look what happened in Syria right now. And I'm not a warmonger. I don't enjoy carrying loads of weapons and living in a hut in the middle of the desert full of like machine guns and traps outside my house. But what you're seeing there is this. The government is coming, asking to disarm these people and asking to kill them. And the only way they can defend themselves right now is by standing strong and running outside and fighting against these invaders that came to kill their families. Yeah. Now, with that...
Mansur, let me just...
Also, they went from the news official reporting was that 30 Druze were killed by the Al Qaeda Jilani forces, the Syrian forces. They're invading Sueda. They're taking it away from the Druze. Okay, the Druze have been there for eons. The world was reporting 30 people dead, hundreds wounded. Okay, now we know it's at least 200 dead. It was a massacre. The Syrian army, the Al Qaeda bastards, they walked into town and just started going into apartments, just gunning people down dead with no warning. There was no warning. This was like if the US military just rolled into town and started machine gunning down all of the people that lived in your town. That's the equivalent. So Israel, and it sounds like I didn't know this, but Qatar, they have stepped up now and they're saying we just can't allow Jilani to do this. We cannot allow more of this to happen. This is a very big deal because now Jilani is not a terrorist hiding in the rocks. Now he has a real military at his fingertips, but the heart of that jihadi is still there. And he's a brutal bastard, clearly.
Let me just add one word. Especially when you live under a dictatorship, and especially when that dictatorship is jihadist and Islamic.
Yeah.
Then you know that if you're a minority, and this has been a repeated theme in the Middle East, if you are religious, ethnic, or otherwise minority, they're coming to get you at one point or another. And we've seen Syria. This happened in Iraq previously. This happened under ISIS throughout the Middle East. Every time this happens, it happened, by the way, in Egypt in the Arab Spring.
That's exactly
Every time
right.
the Islamics come to power, there was the Muslim Brotherhood. Here it's
Yes.
ISIS, different name, same ideology.
100%.
You know what, Martin? Yeah, you were in the IDF as well, and you still do
Yeah.
a reserve. And I know during this war,
100% correct. Hosni Mubarak was a friend to the West. Suzanne Mubarak was her one thing, the wife of the president of Hosni, she went throughout Egypt and built public libraries that had any manner of book, computers that you can imagine. They were gorgeous libraries, not libraries that were only teaching the Islamic faith, libraries that were exactly like the library in your town. Exactly the same thing. They had people there that were reading to the children, like little kid books, just normal little happy kid books. It was incredible the work that they were doing. When the Arab Spring happened and we had to leave, they were building a huge Chevrolet dealership very near to my house. There was Starbucks. There was obviously Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza Hut. And the reason that I bring that all up is this: the joint ventures that would allow these Western companies to come into Egypt and other Middle Eastern countries would allow them to come in and set up shop. They would have these agreements. It was actually Western money that would build the businesses. And the reason that Egypt would allow them to come in is because the Westerners had to promise to hire only Middle Eastern workers. You could have, depending on how many people that you were going to employ, you could have a certain number of like what they called company people, which would be like if you built a Kentucky Fried Chicken, the store manager could be from the United States or Canada or whatever, but all of your workers had to be local and you had to train them. So what do you think happens when a company comes to town that's going to pay US wages, Western wages, to a barrister in Egypt or the little guy that makes your Big Mac? The little guy who's been living on $70 a month is now making $700 a month. What do you think happens to the local company when you get 100 of those families that are now making Western income? Your whole economy improves. It immediately puts, by astronomical amounts, the local economy has like this large injection of cash. So money is now circulating that was not circulating before. Now more people have money to make their own little businesses or to send their kids to a school where they can learn English. So the fact that Mubarak had the intelligence and the foresight to put this business model in place where, yeah, you can bring your money, you can build a company, you can make profit off of it, but you will not bring in your own workers. You will hire our people and train them how to do that job. It was an act of love for Egypt, and other Middle Eastern countries began to follow suit. Well, when the Arab Spring happened, and at the direction of Barack Obama, he gave the kiss of death to have Hosni Mubarak arrested, removed from power. They inserted a Muslim Brotherhood, a royalty. He was like third in command of the Muslim Brotherhood. He was inserted as president of the country. The people of Egypt were horrified, and they're all Muslim, by the way. They were horrified. They said, "What is happening here? What is happening?" And one of the first acts they did was to destroy the libraries that Suzanne Mubarak placed out in the country. You can't have, if you're running a cult, you can't have people educated. You don't, no. The only people that get to know anything are the men, and they're taking marching orders directly from their clerics. So they had to destroy the sources of knowledge and information. And do you know that, I mean, the people of Egypt were so despondent. My friends were emailing and they were just overwhelmed by what was happening in their country. Overwhelmed. Do you know when they finally said, F you? You know when they finally said, we are not doing this, and I am willing to put my life on the line for my country? When that Muslim Brotherhood guy, when he stepped up and he said, we don't need a Supreme Court in Egypt. We don't need judges who follow a secular law. We only need our Sharia council. We know the laws of Islam. We know the pillars of Islam. That's all we need for our people to know what's right and wrong. And we are going to get rid of the judges and the Supreme Court and the lawyers that are in this nation. And the people said, F you. We have zero interest in being Saudi Arabia or any of the others. No, we don't want to be Syria. We don't want to be Iran. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. And it was that day that this announcement came out that they were going to get rid of all the secular government. The people of Egypt spilled out of their homes in a way that brought the world to their knees. They had never seen such a spectacle. There were grandmas that couldn't walk, and their families would put them in a chair, and the young men in the family would hold them up above all the people because no one wanted to be hidden. They wanted the military to see that the people were not accepting of the Brotherhood, that the people were not going to let this happen. And General Sisi walked in and said, this little exercise is finished. We're done. And that didn't happen in Syria. It didn't happen in Syria because Syria has been a stronghold for the jihadists. Assad was exactly like Hosni Mubarak. He wanted a secular government, just like Mubarak. He had a secular government. The laws were not being based on a bunch of religious leaders. They had true lawyers, they had true judges, and the violence that was happening, the massacres that were occurring, Assad was killing the Islamists. Assad was bombing and killing everything south of Dara. He was trying to keep the terrorist activity at bay. So these people, the people of Syria, when Assad fell, they said, "Oh, we're free. Look, our people won't be persecuted anymore. We'll be free to operate under Sharia law. We won't have to worry about government by the people, for the people." This thing is not decided. What we're watching right now with Syria, this is the stage in Egypt when Hosni Mubarak was removed and they inserted Mohammed Morsi with the blessing of Barack Obama, full blessing. Our military was dumbstruck that Barack Obama put his kiss of death on Hosni Mubarak. So what we have now with Jolani in office, that is exactly the same as Morsi in office with Egypt. The only thing left to know is, will the Syrian people fight back as Jolani puts his thumb down and actually turns it into an Islamic republic? Will the people do what the people of Egypt did and say, F you? Not doing that. We don't want that. We don't want any part of that. And Jolani allowing his army to go into Sueda, commit what was a massacre, an absolute massacre, to break the ceasefire. We're now at that pivotal moment. This is it. And, here's the part that scares me. Israel never got involved with Egypt. They stayed out of it. The people of Egypt took matters into their own hands and pleaded for the military to help them. Please remove Morsi. Please stand by your country. Please don't let this happen to us. And thank God El-Sisi did not let the Muslim Brotherhood win. The army marched in there unannounced and arrested every single person that was in the Morsi administration. And they're still in jail today. Every single one of them gone like that, drop of a hat. So Jolani going down and trying to take Sueda to establish control of that southern border, finally full on, as separate from the Golan Heights. I think maybe they might have even wanted to go into the Golan Heights, but I don't know. That's just me guessing, right? But this is serious. Where Foodie is, this is serious business. I would be, knowing what I know, I would be gone out of there so fast. I wouldn't care if I had to go to Aleppo. I wouldn't care. She is in a tinder box that is about to explode.
You've done above and beyond, and you went inside and out reporting for us, and you did an amazing job helping to defend this country. When October 7 happened, who were the first ones to hold the line against the invaders?
The communities.
Mothers, fathers, young boys who grabbed the weapons that they had in the community centers. They were the first ones. Yeah. Special forces went in and joined them, but there were few against many, and they held the line, by the way, with a great, great price. They held the line for more than 12, 16 hours, communities. So it's a very good reminder. Also in Syria, we're seeing that. Who is holding the line? I was saying the point that why did the Druze chose to invade now from Israel into Syria? when they realized that the
Okay.
city of Suwaida is about to fall. And what does that mean? If the city of Suwaida will fall, we will have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of murdered Druze. We'll have a complete ethnic cleansing. They're not there with the intention. You don't bring Grad missiles and dushkas and tanks and military drones to attack a village.
Yes.
You bring it to completely
100%
wipe out and destroy
yes.
this village.
Preach
And the
it,
Druze
brother.
realized that and said in Israel, if no one is going in, yes, the Air Force is doing a great job, but it needs to be on the ground. And they said, we're jumping over the fence and they're running right now into Syria.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So, Mansur, thank you for that analysis. Let's just give a quick update on what's been happening. If people are joining us now, because we have people circulating through the
They
live.
need to like and subscribe first.
Yeah. First of all, guys, if you're joining us now, thank you, Toma. if you're joining us now, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It helps get the truth out from what's happening here in Israel to people around the world. And God knows we need that. We need people to know what's happening here. Many other outlets will lie to you. They'll skew the truth. We are here to tell you the truth on the ground. We're talking right now about the horrendous events that are taking place in southern Syria, where the Syrian government, aided by militias, is trying to massacre the Druze community. Hundreds, if not thousands, of Israeli Druze have crossed over the border to fight alongside their brothers. And the Israeli Air Force is bombed within Damascus, killing apparently several dozen members of the Syrian government.
Oh my God.
We're hearing that there are Israeli commando forces amassed at the border with Syria, waiting for the orders to march in. We're going to pause for a second. We're joined by Mansur Ashkal, who is a Druze himself and has been reporting extensively over recent days about what's been happening. We're going to take a couple minutes to answer some questions of our viewers about what's been happening, and we have a lot of them. So let's pull up a few. And Solivka asks, is Druze descendants of Jethro, father-in-law of Moses? I didn't know that. Mansur?
I will give you the most honest answer.
They
The
bombed.
Druze in their faith, they see themselves as direct descendant from Jethro, and they see him as their main prophet, and that's why they believe that they've been from the beginning entangled and connected with a blood covenant with the Jews. For those who don't remember, Jethro was the father-in-law of Moses, Zipporah his daughter. When Moses fled in the desert, he saw this young man coming with nothing on him. He welcomed him.
So let me give you this channel because it is great information. I've got it. I'm going to get some more information for us. Okay. This channel is TBN Israel. The reason that I really picked this one and like this one is because this man here, he is part of the Druze community and he is a reporter. So, oh wow! So there's a mated pair of the great blue cranes that come around and fish every day, and they just came by my house. I should try to get some video of them because this is so upsetting to me. I'm going to get some more information. I actually I did not realize that Damascus had actually been bombed in the past 24 hours. I didn't think that they had, but apparently they have, and some of the government has been killed. So I need to find out who has been killed and what buildings they destroyed. And I will be back after I get some information. Okay? How's that? Is that a deal? If that's a deal, put a 1 in the chat because this is historical. This is historical. They will shut down communications, Texas Lassie. Chantal, honey, look, here's the reality. They will be shutting down the Damascus airport soon if they did bomb in town, and you got to get out. You've got to do this. Oh golly, I don't even know if there's someone. There's a Christian. Okay, I'll be back. I gotta look at something. Oh, hey, Miss B. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, so Miss B reminded me, let's do the YouTube thing before I leave. And I am going to be back. I'm going to try to get some information. But please hit the thumbs up. I would love it if you subscribed. And I do have a full-time job that I work, and so my upload schedule or me going live is just kind of whenever I get extra time. So if you subscribe, then at least you'll get a notification that I've got something new up. So I hope you will. All right. And I will be back. I am actually going to be working on this, getting some information. And then when I come back, I'll have more information. And Chantal, if you're listening, you really do have to leave. Like this, it's now beyond a choice. They've just said that Israel, the Druze, they're coming. They're crossing over into Syria. They're gonna overtake Saouida. They're gonna take that back from the jihadi groups, and that's gonna mean Dara is gonna be emptied out, and then you're gonna be in danger in Dara. So you're probably about to lose your cell coverage. They probably, if the Israeli army actually enters and crosses the Syrian border, Chantal, they will close down the Damascus airport because they will need that for military. And the other thing is, you do realize, Chantal, that there is a military base near you. There's an airport that is under the control of Jelani, and they're going to start bombing your ass. So you might want to think about that, Chantal. Get out while you can. Like, really, I know what I'm talking about. I was in Egypt for the Arab Spring. I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I know what it's like to get on a helicopter from your front yard to be flown to the private airport in Cairo so that you can get on a teeny little airplane and get flown into Greece so that you're at least safe. And then once you're in Greece, you try to figure out, how the hell am I going to get out of Greece? So I'm not telling you to do something that I wouldn't do myself. You've actually overstayed your safety bounds. You've got to leave anywhere. Even if you go to Aleppo, you're safer in Aleppo than you're in the middle of World War III right now. So you might want to consider getting out. Okay. All right. I'll be back, guys. Just give me a little time. Talk to you later. Bye.